Hello, I am in the garden starting phase 2 of my garden improvements, and we're going to talk about the prepping the garden for phase 2 and composting. We'll be right back. Hey folks, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host Jerry Hansen. This is phase 1 of my garden, mainly getting a weed barrier down and overlaid with a pea gravel. It makes it look so much nicer. The pea gravel does not decompose like my wood shavings in my other side of the garden. This was all topped with wood shavings for a time until I could afford pea gravel. This is doing so much better for me. I'm really enjoying the garden much better, and the atmosphere, the ambience, so much better. And of course, this was a vast difference from the black plastic that I laid down, and of course just covered with pine shavings. It did good, you know, but it's time to remove all the pine shavings, and they're not going to go to waste. I'm going to go ahead and use that as mulch in my raised beds. And let me show you what I'm doing in prepping for phase 2, and we're going to also talk about the compost. In prepping for phase 2, we're going to lay the weed barrier down, build new raised beds, backfill them with soil, and I'm going to do raised beds of various depths. And to prep the second half of the garden, I had to remove my compost. I had 3 pallets set up, so that was the whole compost bin was 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot. And when I deconstructed it and piled it over here, I'll show you guys that in a minute, I got to the core of the compost pile, and boy did I ever get a lot of really rich compost. And I'll show you where I dumped it in my asparagus and strawberry garden. Yeah, I packed in the mulch from the strawberry garden. Look at this stuff. This is what composted. Isn't that gorgeous? All the stuff, the material that I stacked into that compost pile over the course of 3 years. Yes, I just kept stacking. I didn't turn it. I didn't water it on purpose. I didn't cover it with a tarp. I just kept stacking and piling material on top of it. And down in the corner, in the core of it, in the bottom, come up with this really good organic material. Now, like I said, I'm going to mulch this with the sawdust or the wood shavings that I have in the second half of my garden. So we're going to go ahead and utilize that. Let me take you out to my new compost pile. So I've been adding to this compost pile for the last 2 months. This is my new compost pile. This is where it's going to be located. I'm getting it out of the garden so I could free up more growing space in the garden. And I have great hopes for this compost pile. I'm inoculating it with some of the material that I got out of my original compost pile, because the microorganisms that are working on breaking everything down are in that. So I want to make sure they are in this new pile. Now, from this new pile, I also took some material that I cleaned out of my barn, which was pig feces, hay, goat stuff, and we just mixed it in here, and this is going to compost. I'm also adding bunny turds and cleaning out the chicken coop, and I also have chicken manure in here, and that's helping with all the blending of all the material into this mulch, or this material that I've got, soil. That's what I'm coming up with. Good, rich, nutritional soil for my plants, and I'll use this to backfill with some of mine, or top off the new raised beds I'll be building in phase 2 of the garden. Gotta water it down. I have tarps over here I'm going to cover it with, so I'm going to do it right this time. And I'm going on Amazon to purchase one of those great big long compost thermometers, so I can check the core temperature of this and make sure it gets hot enough and it works fast. Now the reason why I put it out here was so I can easily turn it, not with brawn, but with brain. Yep, I'm going to use my brain to turn it. Let me show you. Yep, that's right, my tractor. So I'll just let that sit and water that mound for the rest of the day, get nice and soaked and saturated, but not too soaked. I just want some moisture in there, and then we'll tarp it later this afternoon, cover it, and then in about a month we'll come and turn it again with with the tractor. Yeah! I am loving these quick connect disconnect features. I am loving the quick connect disconnect with the little valve features on my hoses. I purchased a lot of them. I still have more to go because I want them on every sprinkler and hose that I have on my Homestead, because it makes the job go so much easier. It takes the headache out of twisting. Anyway, that covers the mulching, the compost, and beginning of phase 2 of my garden. Yeah, I'm gonna be ordering another dump truck load of pea gravel later this week, and we're gonna stockpile it, and then later, once I harvest the crop back there, I'll go ahead and start working on it. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. On a hot summer's day, it's time to go take a break. Stay tuned to more videos. You can do that by subscribing and clicking that bell icon. That alerts you to new videos as I do upload them. Give us a thumbs up and click that share button. Sharing my videos on your social media platforms really helps out the channel a lot. I decided not to do fencing around the compost because this way I have easier access with the tractor. Yeah. Also, in this episode, I'm using my Canon EOS 2000D for recording, and it's using the onboard sound, so let me know what you guys think about the quality of this setup as opposed to my Canon XF100 and that stupid Tascam DR05. Yeah, we're buying new equipment. Be safe, always be kind. We'll see you guys in the next adventure. Bye bye now.